Oh, I love trash.
YumTastic kids. So I was all set to make meatloaf. You know, thinking about it, how good it would be and everything. Doesn't look like meatloaf, does it? No. That's because it's not. This is ground burger with garlic salt, parsley, pepper, a little bit of salt, minced onions, and Italian seasoning. As I went to make it this morning to get it started, I looked up in my cupboard and I'm like, I don't have nothing to mix it in. So, we're having goulash. Alright, once I get my burger browned, which I do prefer to cook it on I'm still getting adjusted to them, because you know how normally you have them where they go to like 8 or 9. So I have to get adjusted to the settings. The one day I was cooking it too low, and I definitely don't want to cook it too high. I want the burger to be nice and brown and cooked before I add it into my sauce. Alright, I'm gonna let that cook. Wonder if you can, before I walk away, wonder if you kittens can see it now. I noticed this morning. Not really, because I'm inside. Alright, hang on.
I'm inside.
I don't know. It does look a little shady, but you can't really tell. Hi, little Tim.
No, it's hard to tell.
You can't
right
really...
right there. Just hit the pause button?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, little Tig.
Stay there and let me see that camera.
Why? Can you really see it now?
Yeah.
You can really see the shine of the color?
Once I get out of the light.
Because I can see it reflecting and shining.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than the pictures I took inside yesterday. The natural little Tig wants his treats. Hang on, little Tig. I'll get you your treats in a second, babe. Caught in the act, stirring my burger. I was messing around. Hi, little Tig. Going to say hi to you too? So this little... You see what I was doing now? So this little cute little stray, he's not really a stray. He's the apartment cat. Because a year before we got here, he lived in the apartment right next to us, in fact. And when they left him. He lived here for years. So I have taken him in as far as feeding him and giving him treats. I love the, there we go. I gotta get him a little bowl. I was kind of hoping that I find them all the time in the dumpsters. I haven't found one since we've been here. Alright, little Tig, go ahead and eat your... Let me get you some regular food to go with your treats. I got my little box of cans and some scrap in it. Got that scrap there. Hi, honey. Come on. There you go. There's some dry and some treats. Alright, kittens. to set you guys up so you can actually... caught him in the act. Now you've changed. You were just wearing jeans. All right, kittens, hang on. I will, but I'd prefer that the kittens don't have to
See me doing that?
deal with your pervertedness.
Don't forget it. I know they don't love it.
I didn't say I didn't love it. All right, my burger is about ready, kittens. Hubby's messing with me. Love his days off when we get to spend the whole day together. What was that? What'd you say?
I said, I was in there.
Let me see one of those orange slices.
I was in that line.
Were you? Dumpster hubby is tearing up the dumpster oranges. Dumpster orange slices we got out of Rite Aid. They are good. Alright, kittens, hang on. Okay. This is the sauce that I had gotten out of the dumpster because it had no label on it. August 3rd of 2022. I believe it's an off-brand of Prego. Oh no, it is Prego. Each half cup of Prego traditional sauce is 40% of daily. I don't like that it does not have enough light over here. There we go. So it's Prego sauce. And actually, love, will you put that pan in the sink for me? I need my full little tiny stove. Thank you. Now, as I've previously said, due to the acid, let me... Because of the acid, I put brown sugar in my spaghetti sauce. It takes the acid down. It makes it so that it doesn't give me as much heartburn. Yeah, I'm putting it in there, and then I will add the brown sugar. Put my burger in. Now, like I said, my burger's already been seasoned with parsley. Italian seasoning. Garlic powder. Minced onion. And just black pepper and a pinch of salt. Oh, it's over on this side. And when I do my, I don't go by how much, like cup, teaspoon, anything like that. I put into taste. Once I get this up to temp, then I will move it onto one of the back burners and actually get my water boiling. I am currently in the process of cutting open the light brown sugar. I don't normally use the heavy brown sugar. I do prefer the light brown sugar. Got it from Aldi's. Actually bought it from Aldi's.
And then there's a man who, as far as I can tell, is made out of electricity.
I did remove it off my wrist.
What's going on here? Who is this guy?
Let's just think this through. There is a rational explanation for this.
He's ready. got up lately and protect her from brother?
Start with a little bit. See, I prefer mine to be a little sweeter. I do. I like sweet sauce. But if you're not a sweet person, like I said, start with a small amount. Mix it in nicely. Now, for it to really take the full effect, let it simmer for a good 10 to 15 minutes to let the brown sugar marinate in the sauce and mix with it. Because not only did you add the burger, which does still tend to have a little bit of grease in it, even if you rinse it off in water. So the grease has to mix in with the sauce as well as the brown sugar.
A handful of people on a wiki boat are missing.
I can already tell you though, right now, that needs more brown sugar. Because I can't even taste it.
It's not about that.
Like I said, I do prefer it to be a little sweeter tasting. The more sweeter tasting, the less acid you got. And when you have acid reflux on top of IBS, you try to do everything you can to make it easier for yourself. Alright, kittens. I'm gonna let that That's actually really, really good. I can taste the brown sugar. It's not too strong. It's a nice mix. Put my lid on it. Alright, kittens, I will see you in about 5 minutes. It'll be instantaneously for you, though. Alright, I've been having it simmer. You gotta get into the habit of realizing when I start talking, it doesn't mean that it's to you knowing that I'm recording.
I didn't know you hit record.
90% of the time.
I should realize when you're...
Now, normally, I put a can of mushrooms in with it. I normally put fresh green peppers and onions. This is the cheaper. Literally, the burger was $5. The sauce was free. And the seasonings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So $5 for the seasoning and combined, which I've used the seasonings before, so you really can't count the seasonings. So it was $5 for the meat and $1 for the macaroni. I got it over at Dollar Tree. So, but normally, even over at Dollar Tree, you can get a $1 can of Hunt's sauce, which for a family of 2, even sometimes a family of 3, it is enough. Now, back when I was really going crazy and ham on any Italian dish, until you should see my lasagna. When I was going ham on all the Italian dishes and that, I would use 2 to 3 cans of sauce per one dinner. So I mean, even if you have to use 2 cans of sauce, that's $2. The hamburger, I got the ground chuck, so I spent a little bit more on it, but I was also going to use it in a meatloaf, so but the ground chuck for a pound, I paid $4 something. That's why I rounded it up to $5. So $5 for the hamburger, $1 for the let's see, it's a 20 ounce, so it is over a pound, so I'll use half of this. I won't even cook the full amount up, and then I'll save the other half for another meal. So this dinner that we're about to have, and the bread was 79 cents at Aldi's. The butter is $1 at, which we're gonna have bread and butter. So if you calculate it all, the bread, the butter, the meat, the sauce, and everything, this is a roughly about a $6 meal that I'm making, because the sauce was free. And honestly, it'll probably go for tonight's meal and tomorrow's lunch. So, for a reasonably cheap meal, it's actually not too bad. Oh, and it was 79 cents for the brown sugar. I do have to calculate that because I did buy the brown sugar specifically for any sauces. So dinner tonight cost $7, roughly. All right, kittens, when it starts to actually boil in that and I get ready to move it, I will record again. I'll see you in a second. I have decided I'm going to make garlic bread, homemade garlic bread. So I'm filling up the water for the pan now, and then I'm going to get that moved off to the side. Hang on, kittens, 1 second. Perfect. Now if I tip it up just, there we go. What was that, love?
You done for a minute?
Do you need me done for a minute? Hang on.
No,
Alright. In fact, this loaf of bread that I'm using was the loaf that I was going to do the French toast in. But garlic bread's even better. To me, I love me some garlic bread. And I'm not really gluten efficient or anything like that. I don't really, have to fear of it. But a little, I think, babe. Wrong butter. This one's actually full.
that is the one. The other one I finished off.
You finished off the other one?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. But I do a little loud, yes. You gotta remember, I'm soft-spoken, so unless I'm mad. But I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really gluten efficient or anything like that. But I got into the habit of not really eating too much bread. It's not that it bothers me or anything. I just know to me, it's just a lot of filler. It fills you up quicker than anything. And I try to evenly spread the butter on the bread. Well, actually it's the Imperial margarine. Butter is just so expensive right now. Alright, let me pause you and fix you for a second. My sauce is simmering. Actually was at a nice boil. I'm going to put it on the back burner, turn it on, and then start my water. Spoon dish over here into my microwave behind me. Back here. Front rear, I have that on 2.5, so I will put it on 2 just to keep it. I'm going to turn that one back up. Okay, the big debate. Do you use salt in your water, or do you do oil, or do you do both? I tend to do the oil to keep the noodles from sticking. Now, and that's for my, where is my lid? The lid, oh, it's on my chair. Small kitchen. Hang on. Like I was saying, in my goulash and that, I use the oil so that it's, I mean, because you already got your sauce, so it's going to mix with it well. It's not going to make it too bad. So for my goulash, my spaghetti noodles, and my lasagna, along with my other pasta, but those are the main three that I use. I use oil. Now, if I were to be making macaroni salad, I would use salt. Back to the garlic bread. I slide this way. I am using Supreme Tradition garlic powder. And I prefer to use the powders, like the onion powder, the garlic powder, instead of the salt, just to reduce the salt intake. Sprinkle as little or as much garlic powder or salt, whichever you prefer, on your bread. I should have been a full-fledged Italian, I think. I love anything that has to do with pasta. Well, I used to. I used to be a lot. It used to be one of our main courses all the time. Now, I'm also a big parsley, and this is great value parsley flakes. This came from Walmart. So me, I do like the taste of parsley. I know people say there is really no taste. There is. It's just it's more of a flavor. And they call it a garnish. It's mainly a garnish. It's supposed to make to make it look. You've seen the little pieces of garlic next to parsley next to your food when they bring it out. It's mainly for a garnish, but I love the flavor of it and the taste of it, not to mention I do like the garnish part of it, the sight of it. Check my sauce. Yep, gotta stir it. I actually may be turning that down now. Can put this over here. Turn this down just a little. Turn that up a little. Oh yeah. That smells so good. Now, on stuff like this, it would be amazing to have smell vision. Alright, I'm going to move my garlic bread over onto the behind me to get it out of the way and to put you guys back up on the counter so you can see me on the stove. And it's starting to get at least a little warm. My Salvation Army pan with the lid. It didn't have a handle on the lid, but it's got a lid, so yeah, that's gotta go down just a little bit more. I'll put it on low. Got a nice little so I'm not contaminating it. big piece of that meat with it. Here you kittens go. You want a bite?
That is with you guys. We're standing there now.
The sauce itself wasn't their traditional, I can tell right off the bat. It was the vegetable, the robust vegetable. And it mixed so well with the other seasonings. The flesh bothers me, sorry. But I know it's not bright in here, so I have to have it on when I'm recording in my kitchen. And I have all my lights available. I have my under the sink light, I have my stove light, and I have that light on. It's just not bright enough in my kitchen. I think what it is the brown, because it's brown everywhere. So I think the brown makes it so that it makes it a lot darker in here. Alright, kittens, let me move you real fast. Perfect. Alright, once I add the macaroni, yeah, you're moving. Once I add the macaroni in and get ready for that, once my water boils, I will be right back with you. I can hear my water is boiling, but I figured I would stir my sauce first. I don't want it to get burnt or even charred on the bottom. So, after you reduce heat, still continue to stir it regularly. Grab out my other spoon, my pasta spoon. But also have your wooden spoon available. Now, as I said, I was only going to make roughly about half of this box. In fact, I might see if I was thinking when I was at a Dollar Tree, or actually after I stopped at Dollar Tree, that I would love to make up some tuna noodle casserole. But I need tuna and egg noodles. But I think that would be a nice dish to make up. Either that or some macaroni salad with tuna in it. The purpose of the wooden spoon, if you were wondering, is it helps to keep the water from boiling over. Anytime you're boiling anything, if you put your wooden spoon over it, it keeps it from boiling over. Alright, kittens, we're going to cook that for roughly about 8 to 10 minutes. Me, personally, my noodles have to be completely soft. I do not like any bits of hard noodles. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, you know, having dentures at 30. But just stir your noodles roughly every 30 seconds to a minute, or whenever. Like I said, you're gonna let them boil. Ooh. As soon as I am done with that, and that all boils and simmers together nicely, then I will mix them And once I mix them, then I will put my garlic bread in the oven. All right, kittens, as soon as we're ready for that step, I'll record again. And as I just told hubby, if I had shredded cheese, technically, after I got done with this step, I would mix it together in my cake pan. Mix it together, and then I would put shredded cheese, preferably like a Colby Jack or a Monterey Jack, something that with a nice little kick of a flavor. Nothing too spot. Now, I do like pepper jack. I love pepper jack. That's why I like the Monterey Jack or the Colby Jack. Because it's not just a plain cheddar, it's a mix of a cheddar and the white cheese, the Monterey. Yeah, I know. I don't speak well. I know what I'm trying to say, it just doesn't come out. So this is gonna simmer, it's gonna boil. Not simmer, boil. It's gonna cook. And then I'll be right back with you. Now, I know some people like their noodles like this, where they're cooked, but they still have some firmness to it and still have... And to me, that would be fine if I was baking it, because then it would soak up in the juices. But because I'm not baking it, and I'm not really, I'm going to be letting it cook for more than 5 minutes. It won't have any more time to absorb the liquid to soften it up. So I'm going to cook it for about another 2 to 3 minutes. Like I said, that's my preference. I prefer the noodles to be soft. Alright, kittens, my noodles are perfect now. I'm going to try to maneuver you to watch me pour them in the sink. 1 second. Now I turn that
No, just one more thing.
I turn the stove down because I will be adding it back on the stove for a few minutes while my garlic bread goes in, which again, let me show you the garlic bread. There it is. Save the video, new file, exceed. Yes, I know, this is going to be over a 40-minute video. Good thing I can now edit on my computer, huh? Now, hey Google. It won't do it while I'm on the phone. Alright, time check. Timer on here. Does it have a timer?
Yeah.
Timer. Alright, I put my timer on. Let me turn you guys a little bit. There we go. My noodles back in the pan. Full sink of dishes. Now we're going to slowly pour the sauce so it doesn't splatter. And then get my spoon. Now I did turn that stove down. The burner that is now on 2. Good view. Pull you forward just a little bit. Perfect. Now we're going to combine this, and there is a lot of sauce still left mixed, you know, that's why I'm going to heat it to try to simmer some of the sauce to cook into the noodles. That's why I do like baking it after you cook it and adding the cheese and what on it and baking it, because then the flavor does soak into the noodles. And it's not just the flavor of the sauce on the noodles. Now at this point you can add any more of your seasoning to it. But to me, when I was tasting it, it was perfect. So, like I normally add like more garlic powder if I have to, or some more brown sugar occasionally. But I put just the right amount in. Alright, kittens, that's gonna simmer. I will stir it occasionally. As we are getting ready to eat, I will record again. My timer just went off for my garlic bread. Not toasty in it. 1 second, kittens. Alright. Hello. Do me a favor. You can see there in the camera. Will you make sure I'm in view and that my head is not cut off? Because that would be some funny crap.
No, I got you. Your head's here.
Okay. My head's here? Good, sweet. Now I am going to add a little bit of salt. And I had forgotten that I had the salad mix still left in the refrigerator from my chicken salad the other day. So go ahead, honey. Oh, you're waiting for the salad. The ranch. Our dumpster ranch. And the garlic bread turned out. Some of them are a little lighter. Some of them are a little darker because it doesn't have on the burners, it just goes on the outside of the oven, so it doesn't have a middle burner in it. So I really have to be careful on baking in the oven and constantly turning my pan one way, turning it the other, or keeping it lengthwise in the middle so that it heats evenly. It's really good. Alright, Mo. You wanted to see ribs. Well, ribs aren't on the menu right now, but how about some sloppy goulash? Now that's some good goulash. Shall I show you how I really eat? Instead of trying to be delicate for the camera. Oh yeah, I make a sandwich out of this crap.
Makes me laugh.
That's Gestapo. The neighbor's dog. Is it bad that I remember the neighbor's dog's name, but not the neighbor's name? What is her name?
I don't know. We met him one time.
Her dog. No, it's so cute. He's 6 months old and is a British Bulldog. He's so jumpy, he jumps up on me and everything. He's such a cute little puppy. It's not bad, kittens. And just in case you're wondering, it's apple juice. Apple cider. I know, it looks like beer from a distance. I'm drinking apple cider and hubby's drinking lemon lime from Dollar Tree. Thank you for watching, kittens. If you liked Mama Cat cooking up goulash for dinner, let me know. Click that like button down below. And if you're at all new to the channel and you do like all this craziness that you've seen, go ahead and consider subscribing and becoming one of my newest dumpster kittens. I love you, kittens. You guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you're having. I hope that you're having a great one.